The Shredder is probably one of the most iconic villains of all time, so as a prelude to my upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles content on this channel, this video will explore the secret history of Oroku Saki, aka the Shredder, leading all the way till his death, as told by IDW Comics. Long ago, the Yu clan, ruled by the daimyo Ashikaga Yu, was one of the greatest clans of the Muromachi period. Among them was a great warrior named Takashi Tatsuo, whose skill in battle was quickly making him a legend throughout all the land, including the people of the Yu clan. Fearing Takashi, Ashikaga Yu sent the warrior on a mission to kill thieves in the mountains, but the mission was an elaborate trap to assassinate Takashi. Alone on the mountainside, his hands bit by the cold air, Takashi Tatsuo found himself surrounded by a legion of Yu clan warriors. Men he had once called brothers would now fall by his blade. Takashi tore through the warriors like a man possessed by a storm, but in the end, it was still one man against many. The great warrior nearly died on the mountain, but he was saved from his fate by the witch Kitsune, and the two of them would carry out their revenge against Ashikaga Yu and wipe the Yu clan from existence. Sometime later, Takashi Tatsuo formed the Foot Clan and ravaged the land in the name of Kitsune's patron god, the Iron Demon, who in reality was a neutron in a lumbering robot body. Several members of the Foot Clan began to grow suspicious of Takashi and Kitsune, accusing them of consorting with demons. Their suspicions led them to Takashi Tatsuo's most guarded secret. One night, while following Kitsune, a ninja named OROKU MAJI discovered that Takashi had been prolonging his life drinking a strange green elixir given to him by Kitsune, a ritual he saw as black magic. Led by OROKU MAJI and Mosoto, the disgruntled Foot Clan rose up against Takashi when he was at his most vulnerable, and it was here that OROKU MAJI ended the long life of Takashi Tatsuo. Kitsune, however, escaped, but not before shouting a curse on OROKU MAJI, proclaiming that his death would come through his own lineage. Years later, a young Oroku Saki is put to the test. He is to choose which of the items laid on the table belong to him, a way of gauging whether or not he could be the reincarnated Takashi Tatsuo. The young Saki's choices confirmed the reincarnation, and his father, Oroku MAJI, sought to eliminate the inevitable return of Takashi by loving his son the best he could throughout his life. Oroku Saki would grow up alongside Hamate Yoshi, and the two of them would become the best of friends and the finest warriors among the Foot Clan. Over the years, however, Saki's rage would continue to grow, mitigated only by the fearless nature of Hamada Yoshi and the love of his father. In spite of this, Saki grew bitter toward his friends and masters, believing they were holding him back from greatness. He also began to covet Yoshi's wife and would become jealous of their love. Noticing Saki's growing discontent, Kitsune begins to whisper in his ear, leading Oroku Saki toward his destiny. A book hidden beneath the floor, the Ashi no Himitsu, The Secret of the Foot, written by Takashi Tatsuo himself in his previous life. Fearing the disastrous implications of his son discovering the Ashi no Himitsu, Oroku MAJI sent his assassins to eliminate Saki in the wilderness, inadvertently perpetuating the same cycle of fear and violence that began with Ashikaga Yu all those years ago. And like Takashi before him, Oroku Saki decimates his former clan brothers, and Kitsune was there to salvage what remained. She guided Oroku Saki in his inner search for the truth, that over 100 years ago the two of them built an army and conquered much of the land in the name of the Iron Demon, that he was the reincarnated Takashi Tatsuo, betrayed by Oroku MAJI back then as he was now, that he was her dragon warrior. One night, while the air was warm and the moon full, Saki returned to his clan, though not with peace in his heart. He killed the master Masato and his father. His next move would be to seize control of the Foot Clan, replacing his father as Jonin and committing many atrocities as a result, going down a path of dishonor and domination. Hamato Yoshi and Oroku Saki would have many disagreements over where Saki was leading the clan. Yoshi refused to take part in a mission that involved killing innocents, and Saki saw this as an act of treason. Yoshi became an outcast to his clan, and in that he also made his wife and 4 sons the same. Saki declared them all complicit in Yoshi's so-called treachery. As such, their punishment was to be the same as his, death. To honor his wife's last wish, that Yoshi would abandon vengeance for the sake of his sons, Yoshi went into hiding with his 4 sons. For a time, they were safe and life was good, but it was not meant to last. As Saki passed his final sentence, Yoshi prayed to all the powers in the universe for justice, that he and his sons would be united someday and that he would once again be able to face Oroku Saki, warrior to warrior. Yet Yoshi's tale did not end as Saki anticipated it would. Regardless, it was now time for Saki to meet the Iron Demon face to face and gain the secrets to permanent immortality. Saki took those secrets and made sure that the Iron Demon would have no more hold over him or the Foot Clan. With the preparations complete, Kitsune and Saki performed the immortality ritual. First, Saki would need to drink a more potent potion than the one used to extend his life in the past. Next, he'd have to commit harakiri, ensuring that when he died, the magic would bind him to his current body, rather than having to be reincarnated in another form. Lastly, his body would need to be sealed, bathing for centuries in the Iron Demon's brew until his great descendant, Oroku Kurai, used her blood to awaken him. In this time, or rather, outside of time, Saki's soul traveled to the realm of the dead, where he wandered until he came across a castle surrounded by an army of demons. Seeking to dethrone the ruler of the realm, Saki amassed an army of warrior souls and attacked the castle head-on. He challenged the great king that awaited him, a formidable warrior garbed in samurai dress. Saki killed the king, only to discover that it was an older version of himself under the mask. And it's here that Saki learned of his future, that he would one day conquer the earth with an army of mutants, as well as the realm of the dead, but would ultimately end up another lost soul, wandering the wasteland of the dead. Standing above a city made of lights and stars, truly immortal, the Shredder was born. But something else was stirring in the city, a life that Saki thought he had snuffed out long ago, but had actually pursued him across time and space. 4 baby turtles and a very clever rat would become for the Shredder a consistent thorn, putting a halt on many of his endeavors. They were the reincarnated Hamato Yoshi, now Splinter, and his 4 sons, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael. And they would dog Saki, and he them, throughout many lifetimes and realities, until one fateful night. In accordance with Foot Clan tradition, Splinter challenged Shredder to the Gauntlet, an ancient ritual which begins with 2 warrior families locked in irreconcilable conflict, leaving a sacred child by combat as the only honorable resolution. The first stage commenced with the students and soldiers from each side fighting in their master's name, ceasing only after all warriors from one group have been defeated. The remaining victors will then have earned the honor to stand at their master's side, joining him in battle against his adversary, a decisive final encounter that would settle their family dispute for all time. Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo faced Bebop, Rocksteady, Koya, and Bludgeon in the first round. The battle was hard fought, but in the end, the brothers were able to overcome and rally together for the victory. Next, they'd have to face the Shredder himself. The definitive battle in all of TMNT was finally here, and it didn't disappoint. The 4 brothers fought extremely well as Splinter prepared for his final confrontation with Oroku Saki, demonstrating their power, maturity, and courage. But Saki's fall was not to be by their hands. With newfound wisdom, Splinter praised his sons and stepped into the ring to face his fallen friend. "It is true, you are very powerful, Saki," Splinter said. "But I understand now it is a power that chose you, and not you it. A power that deludes you into believing you cannot be defeated, cannot be destroyed. But you are wrong. Yes, death can be escaped. We both know this, but only for a time. You chide me for my mindless pursuit of knowledge in the astral plane, never realizing it has in fact made me very mindful of death's dominion over all things. Unlike you, Saki, death is a thing I have come to respect, and I am unashamed to admit for the safety of my children to fear. But in your blind confidence, you have forgotten, Oroku Saki. I have never feared you." And with that, Oroku Saki was defeated and given a warrior's death. As for where the Foot Clan would go from there, well, that's a story for another day.